then I'm going to hand over to Juliet, who's the founder of icandance, and she is going to talk to you a little bit about her charity. Okay.
Hello, everybody. It's so great to be together, and thank you for taking the time to come and share together our ideas around dance and inclusion and disability and this fabulous event. So, as Ms. Haggerty said, I am the founder and CEO of icandance, and really what is icandance? And really what it is that we celebrate children and young people, empowering them through dance and all the young people that come to icandance have a disability and in some way need an opportunity to be able to access dance and need the support to be able to do that. And we provide a community that enables them to be able to do it the best that they can and to experience the joy of dance. And you have all your schools have opted to be part of this fantastic event. And I hope you're all cheering your head teachers on as they're coming to rehearsals and giving of their time to really make the best of a fabulous event. But the most important thing is not just about all of you and thinking about raising funds for icandance, which is going to support us in so many ways, but also just about us beginning to have conversations about what it is to be a young person in London today and what it is to think about how we can make our communities more inclusive. So I want to introduce you to two fantastic dancers that are part of icandance, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and about their story. And we'll first start off with Emily, and then Denicia will share with us, and then we'll have a conversation. So Emily.
Hi everyone, I'm Emily and I'm 18 years old, and I think I should first start by saying that I'm a student, so I'm doing A-levels, and I've known icandance since I was 7. So I can't really count how many years that is off the top of my head, but I'm guessing a long time. And from the moment that I joined, I think it's been a whirlwind of an experience, because when I joined, I remember like having a lack of confidence, and I think icandance has helped me immensely to grow my confidence, to create new friendship groups, to find a new way of communicating, and to honestly, this is something that I've always said in every single interview that I've had about icandance or with icandance, and I think they've empowered me in a way that maybe someone else might not be able to, and they've never failed to put a smile on my face. And I think that's why they hold such an important place in my heart. And I think now I'd like to say thank you to all of you guys that are doing this for us, because it's so important to all of us. And I know it will be so important to Juliet and everyone else that's part of our community. I think you can hear in what I'm saying that we are so grateful for all your support.
Thank you, Emily. Emily has grown with us. She's done many performances with professional dancers, as well as some of our other youth dance company performers. And Emily has the ability to move within her wheelchair or without her wheelchair, using sticks or dancing with her wheelchair. And we learn to create and be really explorative with all the different types of movements that we use. So thank you, Emily, for always sharing so deeply of your experience of icandance. Denicia, would you like to share?
Hello, everybody. My name is Denicia, and I am a wheelchair dancer from Haringey Sixth Form College. And dance to me is amazing, and it's like an art kind of way showing emotions, because for me I like art, as you know, because art is creative emotions and such, and the way I see dance is through like you're watching a movie but without saying a word or something like that, and it's really nice for that. And how I found I Can Dance is from Emily's mom and Emily as well. And I'm really glad that I came because I really like music, and most of the time I don't have any like energy to do like stuff like that. And when I went to I Can Dance, it just makes me really happy to see all my friends dancing along, just vibes. And yeah, I really like that. And thank you, Juliet.
Thank you, Denicia. Thanks for sharing today. And we're talking about the importance of that. I Can Dance is not just about coming and dancing, but it's about those other experiences of being part of the community, being with your friends, and what it does, how it lifts your spirits, as you spoke about. And we always see that when you come to dance, that experience of being with your peers and having the support that you need. So maybe this is a good place for us to start actually seeing, as we've all just named how important dance is before we even talk about making it possible for all. I wonder what some of the other young people listening, what they heard when they listened to Denicia and Emily talk about their experience, and perhaps why they think dance is important, and especially why it's important that everybody can have an opportunity to dance. Let's hear. Who would like to share some thoughts? And this is your opportunity to be brave, really brave.
I think dance is a way of expressing yourself in a way that like words maybe can't with your body, I think. And it can, I don't know, help other people understand what you're thinking and the message that you're trying to send across, I think.
Absolutely. And Denicia and Emily, please, if there's something you want to reflect on with one of the speakers, any of the young people, that would be great. But absolutely, especially we see at I Can Dance and within communities with a varied range of disabilities, many of the young people that come to us have no language whatsoever. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they think or feel differently. They absolutely think and feel the exactly same way as you. They just need additional support to be able to make that heard. And so using your body and using movement definitely tells a story. So I see we have some hands up. So is that Northbridge House? Go ahead, Northbridge House.
So, I think like dance is important for everyone, because some people it might not be their favorite thing, but for others it could be like everything. It could be like really important to them, and it's fair that we also listen to their opinions, because if we don't, they could feel left out and be not as happy because they're not doing the thing that they love.
And on top of that, dance can be pursued in many different ways. You can pursue it as a career, become
I'm sorry, I lost you a little bit, but I think you were saying that it can offer so many different pathways of how you can experience it, that can be a career or it can just be for fun. And I think sometimes we get caught up that dance needs to look absolutely perfect in order for it to be right. But I'm sure Emily and Denicia will agree with me that at I Can Dance, it's not about the perfection, but the experience of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think that's one of our key, ideas, I guess, that, we, instead of seeing dance as something that needs to be perfect, we try and work around, the disability and see it as, something that can be worked around with and something that we can make part of the dance rather than see it as something as a barrier,
Absolutely. Thanks, Emily. Halliford, would you those at Halliford like to share something?
Yeah, I think dance is important because, no matter what mood you're in, if you've had a bad day or you've had a good day, you're still able to just go away and dance, and like you're able to just relieve that emotions and kind of like disconnect from the world, and it would just like raise your spirits as well. And it's a great way of staying active.
Absolutely. It offers so much opportunity for health, and not just physical health, but emotional health, in that opportunity to be able to express and lift those spirits, as you're saying, a real well-being. And I'm sure the head teachers I'm sure they are experiencing what that gives to them at the end of a rather stressful day. Perhaps you should ask them. Yeah, I see some nods. I see some nods.
I can guarantee we are. It's fantastic.
Fabulous.
I feel like dance, in a way, is just to express any emotions or creativity that in other ways you can't. Like, I feel like when you've had a really stressful day, the only thing that makes me feel better is dancing, because it just lets me express how I feel.
I really love that. And also what's so wonderful about it is you don't always have to go somewhere to do it. If you really wanted to, you could just do it in your room or do it in your kitchen. It's a type of thing that is possible anywhere. Now, I think Wandsworth was saying they don't have the hands up option, but they'd like to make a comment.
I would like to make a comment about how dance makes me feel a lot calmer, and when anything goes wrong, I just dance because it makes me feel like I can express anything I can, and I can do whatever I want with it.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And I see that in our dances, that there's you don't have to worry about words when you're dancing. Let's see what Channing has to say. Their hands up.
Well, sorry. I mean, when I dance, I just feel really happy. And even if you don't dance with even if you don't have dance lessons or anything, even if you're just listening to the radio or whatever, cooking in your kitchen, and you just start dancing, it just always makes me feel happy and so much better.
Yeah, it's such a great way to feel happy, and also amazing for your health as well. We love dancing.
Great, thank you.
We think dance is important as it allows everyone to be in a community and for everybody to take part in a very special thing of their lives and be a leader.
Yeah, I chip in as a participating head married to another head. Would you believe? 2 head teachers, how can that be? But actually, at the end of a stressful day, coming up to the sparkling lights of central London and stepping into the wonderful environment of Morehouse School, which we're grateful for, I should say, and to enjoy fellowship as we come together as a group of people sharing a space, sharing the joy and laughter of an experience, and despite the limitations of our skills and talents, feeling some freedom, and therefore feeling, for a moment, we step out of the burdens of our day and we enter the freedom of movement and occupying a shared space together and enjoying the music. It's so empowering.
That's so wonderful to hear. It almost makes me think, why is dance not part of everybody's curriculum? And why isn't it just as important as maths and sciences and things like that? So let's hear what, is it Beatrix? Sorry, I can't see the full name of the school. We can't hear you.
Yeah, we're at Chem Prep.
I think dance is really important because it's a way of expressing your emotions and a way of telling people how you feel. It also makes you feel so free, like nobody's watching you, you could do whatever you want, which is why I love dance. I also think that you can, and there's no right or wrong answer, so everyone has a different style of dance. No matter how much they try to make it the same as everyone else's, it's just a way of showing your personality in you.
Absolutely, and it brings out that unique talent in each of us, and that each of us can do it differently. And I think Emily and Denise just spoke a little bit about that, in the sense of each of their bodies may work differently from someone else's bodies, but it doesn't mean that they can't dance. It means that they do it differently. And each of us has a different way of experiencing movement and dance and relating. So I wanted to, Emily and Denise, if you wanted to add anything onto that before we go to our next discussion point.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I like how, I forgot what her name was, but she said that there's no right or wrong answer. And I like how she said that because it takes into account that everyone has their own different ways of dancing, but like it's your own way of expressing something. So there shouldn't be any judgment behind it. There should just be like appreciation. And I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind when, like, I guess you're viewing someone's dance or even you're dancing for yourself. You shouldn't judge yourself.
I think that's a really good advice, both as the dancer and as those who are witnessing the dance. What do you think, Den?
Yes, I completely agree with everyone with their ideas. That even though you're like, oh, I might be different, or I can't do this, or I don't know how to do that. Forget all about that. Just go with your heart and your mind. Even though you can't really do it, but you can figure out a way to do it in your space or no, yeah.
But your belief in yourself, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it takes courage, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not always easy, but it definitely takes courage. And I think we've just all shared how important we think dance is and how universal it is as a language, and that it crosses all cultural differences and language differences. So then I suppose I asked myself this question: why is it not accessible for everyone? And how do we make it more accessible for everyone? And perhaps Emily and Denise can share experiences of anything that they've had challenges around having access to dance and them having to look for ways to be able to access dance.
I think when you mentioned that, Julia, the first thing that comes to mind was when I was younger and I couldn't find a dance group where I could go to. And I remember like constantly begging my mom as a little, girl always does, begging my mom saying, oh, I really want to find a dance group, but she just couldn't find something that I guess could fit what I needed or could be like a safe environment where I could dance and do whatever I felt like. But then once I found I Can Dance, it was like, I don't know, a revolutionary change where I just found a place where I could belong and be myself.
Thank you, Emily. Dan, did you want to share?
For me, ever since when I was little, I used like a walker, sticks, and now I'm in a wheelchair. But it's kind of like really difficult because like there's some places that you really want to go and like perform there, like on the street or steps or something like that. But for me, since I'm in a wheelchair, it's really hard for me to get around different places because they might have stairs. The lift might not be working, or and then it's like chaos. But if not, I can't do that. I have to, figure out different ways and bring like family around, give them a little show and such. So that was really fun for me when I can't do stuff around, but yeah.
It just makes me really think about that word inclusion. And I wonder what everyone else thinks about, what does it really mean to be inclusive? And why is it so important? What are some people's thoughts about inclusion and why we think that it should be something in the forefront of our minds that we're thinking about and making it important and possible? What do others think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. it can make us feel like we're important and we're capable and we can do anything we want if we're included in things that other people are included in. Make us feel that we all have an equal chance of excelling in something that we love. So
absolutely. I think everyone's had an experience at one point in their lives of not being part of something, and that's not a great feeling to have. And wouldn't that be awful to know that some people have that on a daily basis? So you're right. Everybody wants to feel that they can be part of.
I think that whatever mental or physical state that you're in, or gender, sexuality, and that you're in, everyone should be included, because if you love to dance, it's really important to be able to express that. And I just think that it's just not fair get to do that for themselves. And also I think that everyone adds in different qualities to a dance. So not everyone dances the same way. Everyone expresses their own different ways of dancing. And I think that if you're not allowed to dance, you're not adding in your key feature of that dance.
Absolutely. And it just brightens up the variety and the diversity of it. Do you have some thoughts?
Maybe it can feel like people maybe you'll feel more loved and appreciated if you get included in more things, and getting included in things like dance perhaps could maybe help you mentally, or it's just a fun thing that you can do.
I think dance offers a really non-threatening, if you do it in the way that we're saying and suggesting, a non-threatening way of inviting anyone in. And as was said earlier, regardless of who you are and how you are in the world, but that everyone does feel that sense of belonging. So I think, again, we have, has a hand up?
Yes.
I feel that dance can be for everyone. You don't need to be able to be capable of everything to do dance. You just need to have some emotions that you would like to share.
And I think that dance shouldn't have boundaries. It should be free and everyone should be included, and everyone should be accessible to dance.
Right, and everything else. So today we're focusing a bit on dance, but you're right, we're really discussing that topic of inclusion. How do we as a community think about everyone feeling part of and included, regardless of our differences?
So my opinion is that everyone has to feel inclusive because everyone has value to offer. Just because someone dances differently doesn't mean they don't dance at all. If you neglect the person who tries to be included, you might be losing on a big opportunity to make the dance company or any dance organization even better. Because everyone is, if you're trying to lose someone you might lose out on a large amount of opportunities that may make the reputation of the dance company or our organization even better.
I love the sorry, carry
on top of that, I feel like if we should include like everyone, because even though people think they can't dance, why, like, of course if you say that and you don't give them a shot, then yeah, but if you actually include them, they could end up being really good. And for someone who really likes dance, not being included can actually have a really big impact on them. So
thank you. And I really loved what you said about value. And then sometimes we only see things as valuable if they're the best or they do it the way that everybody else does it. But actually, I think value is about individuality. and that if we place value on everyone, then everyone is part of whatever it is that we'd like to offer them.
Well, everyone's got different like things about them, the characteristics and values that they bring to the dance floor. So everyone should be able to do what they love and dance and just have a good time.
Thank you.
I was thinking about dance being like a party, and if somebody was not invited to the party, the people at the party might feel sad to think this party was lacking the full extension of that joy. And the other thought I had was, have you come across the book Giraffes Can't Dance? Have you, the children's book? You must have seen that, some of you, and it's a very powerful story if you haven't seen it, a little children's story, but with a powerful message about dancing in your way as the giraffe discovers their way to move and celebrate and enjoy.
Thank you. And I think, it's about that with anything that we have to offer, about having everyone invited or everyone included. And sometimes it means we have to work a little harder to make that possible. Just as Emily and Denise spoke, they have to do things in different ways, and it might require a bit more planning and thinking. But that is the beauty of inclusion, is thinking about what everybody needs.
I think it's really important for people to be included because you'll make new friends and you'll get a sense of community.
I really like that sense of community. And that, again, that's that feeling of belonging. I'm hearing people say that quite a bit. Wandsworth Prep, you had something that you wanted to share. Thank you, everyone, for waiting so well as we're taking it in turns to share.
Well, I think if you don't let someone in, then they might feel sad. But then if you let them in, you might make a new friend and you'll definitely put a smile on their face. So I think it's just good to include people.
We were also saying that we felt dance was brilliant for that because you can dance on your own, you can dance with a partner, you can have a three, or you can, get a troupe together. So, dancing can include everyone, can't it?
And sometimes when we see difference, we're not quite sure what to do, and so then we avoid it. But actually, and I'm sure Emily and Denicia might agree with that, I'm sure they wouldn't mind if people just asked. Do you agree with that, Emily and Denicia?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when something's different, just ask. And they'll be able to let you know what they need to get the support. Channing.
Well, I think dance is so important because it really includes everyone's different qualities. So everybody brings a different quality into the dance routine or whatever you're doing. And that's why I think icandance is so amazing, because it is bringing every different quality there is into an amazing dance routine where everybody is included.
Thank you. And St. Paul's, I think your hand's up there wanting to share something.
I think inclusion means involving everyone as a community and working together. And I think it's important because everyone is a team and everyone's ideas and abilities are together, so you can create something phenomenal and you make amazing friendships for life. And I think that's special, and that's why it's important.
Absolutely. I really love that. I love that sometimes when we do something just a little bit different, you never know what you could find, and new friendships and new ways of being. So I don't know what school 4006104 is. What school is that?
We are Princess Gardens Preparatory School.
Go ahead.
We are Princess Gardens Preparatory School. Yeah, you can get heard.
Thanks. What do you have to share?
I feel like dance is important because when you feel like dancing, no one can judge you, and you can just think of something of a dance you want to do. And when you complete it, you feel proud of yourself. No one can judge you.
Adding on to that, you can also be very passionate and just get lost in dancing. And when you get lost, you just feel really nice because you can just dance along with the tune and just flow.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. And it's about making sure that everyone's part of that and has access to that. And by all your hard work, you're making that possible. So Frances Holland.
I think including people is really important because it's what, by including everyone, you make a really safe and happy environment and a community where no one feels like they're going to be judged for anything, and it's what makes the experience all the better, I think.
Richer and fuller. And I really have loved hearing all of your responses about thinking about, firstly, the importance of dance and the importance of inclusive dance and making it possible for everyone. And we are working on this fabulous performance that's going to be taking place, that your head teachers are rehearsing and getting amazing costumes and spending their time to do that. And I know that each of you in your communities at school are starting to think about this event that will be taking in June and thinking of ways that you might think a little bit differently about differences, disability, inclusion, and dance. And I suppose the question is, how can you encourage more inclusive thinking in your communities? And how can that support some of the fundraising efforts that we have coming up as we're leading up to the show? So we're thinking a little bit about how do you build inclusion in your communities? And by so doing, perhaps what exciting ideas you had around fundraising and the show. So some thoughts on that. Is St. Paul's, is your hand up? I wasn't sure if it was new or old.
It's the old hand, but
yeah, I wanted to add something that
sure.
when you look back on when you did something, you rarely think that I wish I didn't do that, but you almost always think that if I did that, it would have been great. I might have taken something away from it that helped me or made me happier, or just yeah.
Absolutely. That courage to do it, to take that leap, so to speak. So some thoughts on how do we create this inclusive communities, and how do we think about the events coming up and support the events that your head teachers are actively rehearsing for? What are your ideas?
Hi, we have an idea here at Wandsworth Prep.
Go for it.
Well, we were talking about, at Wandsworth Prep, we were talking about maybe doing a dance-a-thon, a 12-hour dance-a-thon from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night.
And involving the whole school community, parents, teachers, children.
That sounds...
Promote dance and support the charity.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Denise and Emily, doesn't that just sound great?
That sounds so cool, honestly. Like, I can't imagine having that much willpower, but, you know, if you want to do it, where there's a will, there's a way, right?
Fabulous. I love that.
You thought a similar idea, didn't you?
Yeah, so in like a game session in school, you could be dancing instead of doing other sports, and maybe you can get family and friends to sponsor you, and the money that they sponsor you with goes to icandance.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea, and hopefully lots of fun along the way. That's what we want, is that while you're doing these wonderful things for our charity, that you're also having fun and that you're learning things and thinking about inclusion as well. St. Augustine's Priory.
So I don't know about many of the other schools, but I know that here at St. Augustine's Priory, quite a lot of the students love to play Just Dance for PE. So I was thinking that we could do like a whole school, like Just Dance kind of thing. And we could also get parents involved, and we also like bake sales. We could also have something like that. So just like for a night after school somewhere at school. So
I love that idea. That sounds like a lot of fun, and it gets everybody included. And this is what we're thinking about, right? Inclusive communities. How are you building inclusion in your school environment? I think your hand's up there, if that's a new hand, not an old hand.
Yes, so we are actually already doing something at school. So we're doing a dance contest, a whole school dance contest. There are 8 groups, 2 from each house, and the winner, I think it's like the winner gets a prize, and I think it also through this we're raising money and awareness for icandance. And if you actually look at how many people signed up for it, it's really nice to see that everyone from each year group got involved.
That's amazing. And what I love, what you used a really important word there, is that you're also raising awareness. And that's what we really want from that, is that awareness of how others are in the world and how we can think about others who need more support in accessing the world. So thank you so much for such a thoughtful approach to your fundraising. We look forward to hearing about it. Princess Prep, Princess Prep, I think your hand's up.
I feel like we should have a dance of house competition between 4 houses, and there's no winner. It's just for fun, so that because if there was a winner, some people might get sad that they don't think that they're good enough. And I feel like it's doing it for fun can also help with fundraising.
Basically, it's just for fun with your friends to have a little bit of a dance instead of some other hard work or lessons. You can have a bit of a dance off and have a fun time. And also to raise some money as well.
Well, that's what we want, that it goes hand in hand, raising some funds, having some fun, and raising awareness and learning something new. Isn't that just the perfect school day? So that sounds like a really great idea. I think you guys have your hands up there. If that's a new hand.
Hello, sorry.
You could have like fundraising dance events, so you try to not stop dancing for a specific amount of time, and then every maybe hour or so you get like you earn some money to give to a dance foundation.
I think all these ideas sound really great, and that they're going to support the efforts of your head teachers that are working so hard. So don't forget to take all these ideas and to take them back to school and to put them forward and to see what you can create whilst having fun, raising some funds, and learning something new.
Maybe creating a sponsored run event where your friends and family can donate money to perhaps how many kilometers you can run or steps, and it can go to the money can go to the charity and help.
I love that idea. And we're here to support you. Some of the schools we've come along and we visited. We'd love to meet more of you. And we are just so, from Emily and Denise and I, we're so thankful to everybody for all your hard work and thinking about how dance and inclusion, how important it is for us to make that part of our communities. And I think the most important thing is keep cheering your head teachers on and make sure that they're getting themselves ready. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you at the event. Maybe just as we're finishing, Emily and Denise, did you want to say a final word before we hand over to Miss Haggerty?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's been really nice hearing everyone's ideas, and especially towards the end when everyone was talking about how they could maybe fundraise for icandance. I think it was so, like, I guess heartwarming to hear so many different but like brilliant ideas of like how to fundraise. And I think it, because I fundraise myself, it's been so nice to like be able to reflect and hear that there's other people that would like to do these things too.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all of you coming and hearing your beautiful, crazy ideas, which I love the most. And and Sorry.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of good luck, Hayden, we should wish them.
Yeah.
So good luck, everybody, and thank you for sharing your ideas with us this afternoon. Miss Haggerty, over to you.
Wow, that really was everything and more that I think we'd hoped for today. It's just been so special seeing you all. I've got you on gallery view, and I think just seeing you all at once is really quite moving. It's been really special. And so the next bit is, well, for all of you to go off and launch those projects that you've been talking about today, while we get on with learning a few steps, getting a few costumes together. And we do have a fantastic venue for our big Strictly Heads event, which is a hotel in Westminster, which is so special. And that wonderful hotel are supporting the project as well. So we've got all sorts of brilliant companies and different people and individuals and schools all supporting this and all working towards this goal. So how special to be part of it and to be part of it with you.